So what makes an ad shocking? Marketers can use several different techniques in order to produce this effect. In order to shock their audience, for example, they can use disgusting images to promote, let's say, public safety in the workplace. They can use sexual references in order to sell a product or a service. They can display moral offensiveness to their audience in order to get their message across. Other ways that marketers can shock their audience would include profanity or obscenity, religious taboos, or vulgarity. Not only was I surprised about how many ways it was that you could shock an audience, but also the fact that shock advertising didn't just start in our generation. It actually was decades ago when some of the first shock advertising started to begin, and they were mainly directed towards the household wife or the role of a woman in society then. A perfect example of a campaign that actually was offensive but it ended up being effective was the Get On Hook campaign in the UK. Even though the Get On Hook campaign was declared by the ASA, or otherwise known as the Advertising Standards Authority, that it was in breach of the code's rules relating to causing fear and distress to children in the UK, the health department actually said that it was highly effective because during that the campaign was aired, that includes the ads, the website, as well as the TV commercials, that their department was contacted over 820,000 times during that campaign. The Get On Hook campaign was eventually banned in the UK by the ASA. Not only the ads, but the commercials, because they were programmed at times that children would be possibly watching the commercial. The question that, as marketers, we should ask ourselves is it worth it? Do you want to possibly have a banned advertisement or a commercial just so that it would be effective to people? Do you want to possibly offend someone in order to help someone else? That's the question that marketers, if they are possibly going to try to use shock advertising, need to ask themselves. It's just a question that, if it isn't asked, that it could ruin a brand, it could ruin a product, and it's really essential that when you choose to advertise, you have to know what's your purpose, what are you doing for your customer, what are you promising your customer, and what do you want them to get out of the advertisement. So all in all, is shock advertisement good for marketers? It all depends on the brand that you're using it for, what you're trying to make aware of to the public or what you're trying to sell, and lastly, if you personally feel comfortable with it. And of course, you don't want to just offend people, but you want to make it effective.